This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Something close to...
Very smart. Opening the lid should be much easier after...
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. There's no way, but even just a pawn shop. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric... This orange machine is turning the crank. It's all gone now. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip.
Didn't Sona give you a perfect tool for this kind?
Equip the multi-tool by...
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and... This orange machine is dead still. Ice squeaks beneath your Kavalzun multi-tool, but your fingers slip away and it's already unplugged. There's not much else to do other than wait for it to defrost or bulk up and get stronger. Whoa, what have we here? A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
True. They never cleaned up the war damage. The rest of Revachol looks better, though. The bridge is fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to...
Hello again, officers. Have you come to...
Yes?
Give me a moment.
You hear someone walk up a paw.
Do you have?
Let's go.
It's general. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. This door has been closed with a... This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk drawn, it's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair.
You seem committed to it, so go on.
What are you doing? This door has been closed with a padlock. What are you doing? This door has been closed with a pad. The shackle snaps like a...
After you, detective.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Marzov.
The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting. I suspect that's exactly what they are trying to do. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems. He was definitely controversial. The tenant here seems to like him. There aren't many communists around. Yes?
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safe snip. The cutter goes through them like dead leaves.
I know there's no stopping you, but let's at least...
A phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of...
Good.
A minuscule amount of it. You pocket the bottle. A bundle of clothes heaped on the bed. A stained parka. Some... bundle of clothes, something under... It's not too late. No one's going to blame you for backing out. You don't have to do this. Just get out. Your hand touches a greasy duvet, covered in cigarette burns and ketchup stains. You hear a growl. You see a 60-year-old, fat, red-headed man passed out from life. You don't have to take him down. He's already down. The aging alcoholic is still there.
I'm afraid it is. Look, it moves.
A groan rises from the man's throat. Dry.
Well, judging by the color...
The lieutenant's right. The man's unwashed hair bears a familiar ginger tone. Even the hair on his chest is coppery. The light from the window falls into his...
I think he's still quite bad. I mean, what he has got. This man won't be feeding his family anytime soon. Not that he was, but
A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty, and frozen. It's clear that the person behind them is not awake.
Can't you tell? It happens to exceptionally committed substance abusers. They fall asleep with their eyelids still open. Not a... Look, he's trying to communicate. What is there to do? We could turn him on his side so he doesn't choke on his own vomit, but he's already on his side. We could take him to Remedy or Saint-Baptiste, but he doesn't have money for medicals. They don't do charity for people who are trying to kill themselves.
Years. The pile of blankets grunts miserably. The aging alcoholic is still there, breathing. The air is... The man... The aging alcoholic is still there. The man... The aging alcoholic is still there. The man groans once again, but his tongue keeps failing him. It's impossible to make out the syllables. A hand emerges from the blankets, trying to gesticulate something. And then it dawns upon you, clear and surreal. Pigs. He's trying to call you pigs. His hand falls back on the bed, limp and defeated.
At least he got to say his piece.
The door has braved the elements for decades. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and so is the knocker. Shaped, someone is moving around in the apartment. You hear the tenant must be cleaning up. That means you're too late. Nothing more to do here. Better report back to Everard. No answer. The key stops midway in the lock. Something's blocking its path. The lieutenant looks first at the door, then back at you, then
That already defeats the point, doesn't it? Let's get out of here.
As you turn to leave,
We should leave and go talk with Everard. Tell him what happened.
the door has braved the elements for decades. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea. The keys, the lieutenant looks, no answer.
That already defeats the point, doesn't it? Let's get out of here.
Trying to sneak.
Just an ordinary wall. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing, because this is no ordinary wall. It is sublime. Look at it. All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this. The uncontent. Oh, Wall Father.
Huh?
He sounds tough. You already have the heavy fuel oil to use as paint. It's red. And Cindy the Skull has a paintbrush. This is on.
Sure. If you must.
Hello again, officers. What for? Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about? Let me stop you right there, Piggy. You have no idea, do you? No idea. No brush? Fuck off. There, Piggy. I guess art just isn't really you. 'Cause you suck in life and in everything. Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
This is it. The scene of the party. The fire pit. Cigarettes and empty bottles all evidence it. Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage
Looks like it. Hey, let's keep moving.
Somehow, he doesn't want to do.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind? Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? An installation. Us poor people are stupid and don't get installations. All I see is a heap of trash. This actually calls for a funeral, I think. Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all. Quite odd. Our things are a part of our life world. They're made with our human sweat and they share human history.
Life world? Someone's been reading up on last century Gottwaldian philosophers. Play it cool now.
Oh yeah? You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June. And where are you going to bury it? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and...
That's all we have time for right now anyway. Come back here in June and see how you feel about it then. It's not like it's going anywhere. Yes, that is a pity. But for now, let's focus on...
You like the Capri funeral idea? There's a gap where the name of that song should be. You should ask her about it right now.
Yes, I can't really sleep anymore. Only my suggestion is don't. Don't grow any older than you already are. A lullaby my mother used to sing. I sang it to my kids too. Surrender to the night.
That's kind of grim for a children's song. Even...
Yes, it does. I can wash it for you. But it's going to...
I could use a breather. It's been another track and field day.
Well, hand it over then, and I'll see what I can do. Must say, I'm proud of this one.
Tequila sunset. My jacket?
A look of consternation crosses.
What the fuck are you talking about, Tequila? Faum? That's medium concept stuff, not my style at all. I can't...
It becomes abundantly clear to you how this man managed to lose it. I'm calling it. It's neurological.
That shit is so medium concept, I wouldn't touch it with a stick.
It's an okay jacket, if you are into that look. Okay.
Morel's track stands empty. The locusts, dazed from being transported. They're not really going.
Good. Now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending... Don't answer that.
He doesn't want to. But if there is one more cryptozoo... All the traps are... It's getting late.
Good night.
On the table, you see a bowl of water. An old mirror hangs on the wall. The bed is comforting. Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around.
Recorded in you. Forever. On Parte.
On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time.
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. You can never forget this shit.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little...
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
It's too late. You're not made of nothing anymore. You're something now, Harry. I tried to drown you in the black water, but you re-emerged. Kicking and screaming. Running. And for what?
For the money, baby. For the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth. There he goes again. He's a real political animal.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
'Cause only love can break. Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept.
Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve. Good. You're up. Listen, there's something that's been bothering. It's a suspicion, or a feeling, really. An earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with next? Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding. And despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, things only seem to be... Oh, sure. You've been making but who's focusing on the big questions? You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité. The most awesome, it is human nature to crave la responsabilité and to deny it. That's why it must be distributed across many different organizations. Harry, you're thinking about this. La responsabilité isn't concerned with trivial questions like who killed who. It's about the real issues. Whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship like a committee. There's always time to follow best practices. Once someone's swift, decisive action, only the most even-keeled minds, your half-brother, the lieutenant, is aimed together. You'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Revachol. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and expertise to most likely your findings will be collected once they've reviewed it. Those same superiors, rest assured, no matter what happens, good luck. Your report. Good. You're up. Listen, it's a suspicion, shattering deduction from your psyche. Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't
Pero si
holding.
esto ya está.
And despite your efforts to, you've got to find out. Whoa, like a committee. Only you're half together. You'll be able to. Good luck. On the table, you see a bowl of.
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style. It's just, well, you look more like a high-flying businessman than a police officer.
That's right. You're an entrepreneur of the peace, here to disrupt legacy law enforcement with buzzwords and privatization schemes.
Oh, God. Don't start talking like those people too. You know the expression, the clothes make the man? The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world. Let's not get ahead of our...
A warm
Anyway, we should probably get back.
The waves are beginning to die down.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing. But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can.
Our tenant, the policeman.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. The Coldima Madakwa. Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds, for that matter. What an interesting development. Well, it's been once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play. This was before, you know, lost cool or not. One of them was obsessed with recording the Coldima Madakwa. And he was one of those. We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns. Compared them. Cut them up and combined them into the Symphonia Coldima Madakwa. Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all.
Do we really have time for this?
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the...
As the hum grows louder, modulating, but always unnaturally, uncomfortably low. Like it's not good, not good. You're about... There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but also surrounding you. He nods to you, reassuringly, just as more diverse seabirds most likely, gulls and such.
And skewers, but
A low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still troubling. You are mesmerized by the sounds, but also...
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the cold Mamadakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably some insect trying to sing higher.
Actual art.
That's one brutal motorcade.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery.
A snazzy, shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make...
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this...
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property, sir.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in...
Skulls. Now there's a strong organization.
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not...
Which is not to say that the skulls are...
The part of this presentation you want to take home...
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their...
You don't know?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
The skulls are the most vicious...
Besmatai, or the Besmati, the immortal.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and...
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual. A testament to the...
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock. Or you can find them loitering around the brightly painted...
I can't wait to become a... Murder? Yeah, sure. We'll gladly...
Also, he was hanged.
Yeah.
These punks don't know any...
Hey!
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
Exactly. How can one... know shit? For example...
What if it's art?
Maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere. No reply. The blonde rep...
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give...
For all their nihilistic posturing, these odd, there isn't a hint of hate in them. It's like they're pissed and fuck the world out of some kind of moral. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking...
Be wary of the...
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat. But I don't. In fact, I dislike them so much I'm willing to drag you boys back.
Hey, there's no need for that.
Yeah. Didn't you cops, like...
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's what...
Apart from the Union.
Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, we are. We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get... Because we can be...
But in a non-threatening...
Right on, fuck. Mm-hmm. What about them? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And the word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, what I mean by this is,
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in a key.
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is...
I'm wondering if the poetics come with.
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though, you get more fish in a shorter time. And because...
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Yes? What is? What are you implying? No, I don't. What are you implying? Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the 2 statements. Fine. Fuck the world just seemed to fit you more, considering your...
You always get to be the crazy one, right?
So are we done here? Or... you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you? That ride is fuck...
Hey, piss...
It is such a pleasure. Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston.
His tone lacks its usual intensity, like he doesn't feel he has the right to speak on the matter.
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street. She was René's first girl, back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die.
And then you stole her from me.
Oh, officer. It already got ugly in...
You stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me. Because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling...
We were just boys then. This was different. No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time.
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. René and I were both by her bedside when she...
died. No use sugarcoating it.
Departed. Until the very hand she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met. She could never make up her mind about anything. She was always leaving one of us for the other. but never long enough to actually get married. Heck, technically, we're both still in—
You always confused there. Couldn't let us be happy. So just—
He suddenly remembers you are still there.
Of course, officer. Memory— Sweet, sweet Jenny. Of course,
The purity of snow always— There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are investigating. Revival Fair of 91 in the Faubourg district. A parade was held to honor Guillaume Le Lion's name day, and this was the happiest day of my life. I was 22 when I returned from King Guillaume's Akira operation.
The Akira operation was a 7-year campaign, during which suzerain Guillaume's army—
I won her back, but while I was dealing with some issue—
You were like a dark cloud sucking the joy out of every living thing around.
Dark cloud.
Those days and memories are gone.
The old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an odd look in his—
There's nothing for you to understand here. Absolutely not. She died of pneumonia in her bed at the age of 70.
His face is motionless, like a marble.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul.
Unfortunate.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity—
Go low, go deep, go unconventional.
Sure, officer. Let's hear your take. I'm not following you.
He'll get it. Don't worry. Just continue. He's gonna be impressed. The man stares at you, silently frowning. The carabiner crosses his arms and spits in the crater.
You're talking about getting blackout shit-faced.
The lieutenant looks up from his notes and nods to the old carabiner.
How so, then?
His tone is like that of a drill sergeant addressing new recruits. The lieutenant sighs audibly.
And I thought getting my knee shattered and surviving on rat carcasses in the trench was bad. Here.
Extremely rigid principles this old soldier has. Don't leave room for a change of heart or backing out. The medal is—
Of course not.
Can we get back to our game now?
This feels honorable. You did the right thing not taking it. Feels as though you should do more honorable things. As if there's—
The purity of snow always reminds me of the—
Go long.
Sure, I'm not—
He'll get it. Don't worry. The carabiner crosses his arms and spits in—
The
lieutenant looks up from it.
How so?
His tone is like that of a drill sergeant addressing new recruits. The lieutenant—
And I thought—
Extremely rigid principle.
Of course not.
The veteran of numerous armed conflicts extends his right arm Flashes of bloody and terrible scenes of war. Men die. All of this accompanied by a musical composition telling of heroism of old.
Was there something else you wanted to take from
I don't think there was anything else he wanted, was there? You got the medal. Now let's...
the purity of snow? Always
Hello again, esteemed officer.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now.
You just can't. Out of the rain and in...
Math. It's really difficult. Like, Oh, I found something while you were away. I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does. Maybe. It's the hat Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more... Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mum notices. Hi, Ace Detective.
Hello again, esteemed officer.
That ride is...
Hey, piss... Look who it is. Shrunken cophead material.
These guys.
That ride is...
Hey, piss...
These guys.
That ride is...
Hey, piss... Look who it is.
These guys aren't.
That ride is fucking lightning.
Hey, piss... Look who it is.
These guys.
That ride is...
Hey, piss...
These...
That ride is...
Hey, piss... Look...
These guys aren't.
That ride is...
Hey, piss... Look who...
These guys aren't scary. You're...
That ride is...
Hey, piss...
No. Don't ask anything. Be subtle and scary. The boys dream about being skulls. Use that. Suggest their massive...
What? No! Skulls don't have kings. I think.
Yeah, man, keep your voice down. Skulls don't take it lightly.
Prospect must be a hierarchical term. Probably in the lower...
Wow, you boys are ambitious. Only prospects and already planning a coup in the skulls. You're destined to go far.
He gets it. Passive-aggressive flattery.
Shut the fuck up! Are you trying to get...
Now bring it to the jackets and, yes, start shouting.
Please be quiet. What? What do you want? The jackets?
You got it. No need for cruelty.
Fuck you, man. Take them then. Oh, man. Okay. I get it.
Fuck.
The lieutenant watches the boys take their jackets off with mild amusement.
That's okay. I wouldn't wear either one anyway. This case doesn't require us to go undercover or raid.
Cold-hearted cop.
Do.
The jackets are meant to complete each other. If a man was standing alone on a street corner with his...
I don't know, Eric.
Yeah, let's get out of here. The cops fucked us.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man.
Wait, there's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like...
Whoa. What else? Silent communion. That's good. Dang, that's some great shit. You came up with that yourself. Right. But really, no bullshit. That's great stuff. I sort of want to know if it's yours. No matter. Great verse is like that sometimes. Ephemeral. You might not look it. Seems you have some literary... Just messing with you. It's cool. You're an okay guy. For a cop. They're more often into fists than rhymes, see?
In a small office behind the old military hospital, hunched under the green glow of his desk light, Officer Hans Blau browses through a test print of his Futurist magazine. It's called The Futurist. The typeface on the header is too small.
Well, you've given me some hope, I guess.
You found some common ground with this man. even impressed him.
What? But I told you she's my friend. Please don't make me give her up, detective. Get someone else. There's a ton. Thank you, friend.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. Hard to say. Cop habit. This isn't case-related, you think. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front and then accelerated straight into the fence. Left a hole big enough for the Franco. The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
No wonder the cafeteria manager seemed frustrated when he was given. Well, you did provide us with a very convenient access point to the crime scene.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Hello, dear. It's good to see you. Thank you for doing that.
Her smile is wary. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them.
Her voice is shaky.
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
That really is too much, sweet.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Different?
Answering a question with a question, for example. Defensive isn't her usual style.
I'm not. It's a strange feeling.
And when a police officer asks,
do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood, seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people? I didn't really. Morel's so proud of it.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so eager that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. But now we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for...
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything. But it has. You see a set of tire cop. This isn't cop habit. This isn't case related. The tire tracks were left here by an some of that rubber stuck to the and then accelerated. The driver proceeded to before heading south.
No wonder. Well,
Hello, dear. Thank you.
Her smile,
Morel still isn't feeling well. I'm sorry.
her voice.
Morel will...
The lieutenant stares at.
That...
Very strange.
Different.
Answering a question with a question.
It's,
And when a...
Do you see it? Morel's...
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
No, but now...
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write. An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the Phasmid, hunting it. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a stick.
You know, this reminds you of the Pericanassian theory of love. In essence, love is a relay out of death. Generation by generation, our love remains in our progeny. Lay some of that on her.
Oh, sweetie. I don't think the Pericarnassians were thinking I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived. On our first day.
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? What you have to know is the Insulindian Phasmid probably does not exist.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
I'm not sure of anything. Sometimes I still see it, you know. The real memory.
Rising. Unfolding from the reed.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Oh, no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. Okay?
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it.
You're welcome, sweetie. I'm glad it helped you, even though it turned out to be a
waste of time. A dream. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine sputters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside.
We should go too.
Hey.
Well, well. Bringing in...
Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting...
The man ponders his cooking.
Again? I can't believe...
Yes? What is it?
The door is closed. Still, the lieutenant, he doesn't like it.
Fuck does Kuno care? Alright, so you got Kuno's kilo. Here is how, that's how we split it. It's the best way, street way. The fuck are you talking about? Again, Kuno does... Fuck does Kuno care? Alright, that's how we split it. It's the word on the street is You sent your little friend in dressed as...
Not a single muscle.
Kuno wants to hear all about... Kuno knows what Kuno means.
Kuno means Gran.
All right. Kuno knew you tried.
Tell him, Kuno!
Kuno's got brains. This shit doesn't surprise Kuno. So Kuno's gonna give you one more chance.
Major fucking...
Kuno won't take this shit lightly. The pieces are moving, pig. This is...
It's hard to see how not giving a boy a bag of amphetamine. Hard to see, but easy to feel. Some...
Tick, 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 tick. Decision time. What's it gonna be? You gonna fuck the Kuno? All right. You fucked the Kuno. Everybody, Kuno got fucked by his pocket pig. Just when we get in our business.
I told you he can't be trusted. I told you.
Relax, see? We got plenty of Kilo underground, in the tree. This is about you and Kuno. You mismanaged this shit. Now everything is fucked between us. How are you gonna make this up?
There is genuine disappointment below the act. In truth, Kuno doesn't really believe there's anything you can do to make up for this. The damage is irreparable.
The fuck do you know about Kuno's life?
Yeah, we got plans.
Yeah? How the fuck are you still alive, pig? What?
His posture changes. The swaying rooster motion stops for...
Fuck right. Kuno's dad was sleeping like a bum. Kuno told you. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about anything. You got lucky, pig. Kuno knew this. Kuno's fucking violent fiend dad's been drinking hard lately. Kuno knew you have a way in. Narrow window. Kuno window.
Kuno window?
Yeah? Kuno's dad is fucking nothing. Fucking coma shit, stroke shit. Kuno's dad is so Kuno's gonna have one too. Gonna be just like Kuno's dad. Speed shit, crime shit, fucking on the bed.
Stop saying all this sad shit.
There's a touch of...
Fuck are you talking, sad? Kuno's got hard shit, death shit, nothing shit. Fuck right I am. Get your nun-ass out of here before Kuno fucks it dead. You think 'cause you brought Kuno 1 gram of speed turn into... Kuno ain't turning into shit. Kuno is...
Kuno won! Oh, you won, Kuno!
He did not win. There is a crack in there now, and it's spreading across the face of his certainty.
Fuck right there were. Fucking 3 years or so.
You can guess.
That's right, it's a shithole. Kuno's gonna move underground, Leroy shit, ancient...
Yeah, in a tomb, Kuno!
Fuck right.
You can guess.
Fuck that shit. Kuno's gonna move...
Yeah, in a tomb, Kuno!
That didn't change shit, pig. That only made things worse. Fucking so...
It doesn't work, Kuno.
She must repeat it. Use every chance to confirm that version of reality.
Here, pig. But Kuno could already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle.
Money debt doesn't mean anything.
Kuno doesn't...
I'll die before I squeal.
The man is decomposed. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
serio no hay nada para perfección, tío.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again? Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
You finally made it, haven't you? Where did that man get such a cool jacket? Did he receive it upon graduating the École Normale? You are very dangerous, my friend. Dangerous and cool.
Looking for something odd? Come. Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to...
Failing.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell...
Men like this only respect two things. Strength.
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged-up thing.
When did she...
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a...
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This...
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now...
A small temple by the monument. Green.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up.
Is this about the question?
The tin, your bottles... This screen found A to Z, contemporary, is...
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying. Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
The glass on the side windows is... The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. This screen found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days. This screen found, A to Z, called down the hammer of truth and justice. With a firm punch that could shatter bone, you smash through. This screen found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked. This screen found, A to Z, contemporary. This screen found, A to Z, pry back. This screen found, A to Z, called down. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the... One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above. The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded... This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her. She wasted away in a drug den called The Door to the River. Not far from here, on the actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but...
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all short. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite... doesn't look like it.
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around, but one odd detail does catch your eye. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation? Understood. We should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter.
The movie stars are still... A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's an issue of Peripherique from last Wednesday. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out tool slides back. We close the...
Great. I think we got everything.
The woman is still hunted.
Huh? What is it?
Right to... We were promised work. The physically impressive.
Hola, Wandering Man.
All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to... I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the shield.
This means it's well funded. Technology like...
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. These may be...
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. Yes, well...
Unimportant.
As elegant as... I'm going to say no. Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them to other ends as extra ammunition. We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotic. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation. Sometime later, when we are done here. We do not want to get... The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they are. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Debrief over.
Promising race. The file cabinet stands at the drawer. The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you. The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next. It's unclear.
Sí, claro. 50% y...
The already familiar. The machine swallows your coin and your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. Calling. Still calling.
Video Reversal, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lummy. How may I help you? Video Reversal is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lummy. No. Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here. Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period? Let me fire up the machine. Dubois. Here we are. You haven't rented anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November 46. Whoa, not a fun film, that one. It's not an easy watch. After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce, no wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the corner of Voyager and Main.
The call is terminated by the other party. This is the Night Watchman's. You're back before the cargo container. You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. Why are you?
Hey, mister, I'm not gonna...
Mr. Dubois, every worker... That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too. How can I help you today? You fucked up. You waited too long, the weasel came back, and now you can't open the door I asked you to open. Everard forgives, Harry. Don't cry, my boy. It's gonna be all right. I'm still gonna tell you about the murder. That's just the way I am. Benevolent. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship.
He performs a motion.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa. You name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with... But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy. The one who likes
By negotiator, you mean?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers we got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but...
That sounds a bit like organized.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want...
Again, that sounds like...
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, he probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and...
Aren't you worried we might arrest...
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their... Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contract. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs up...
So you believe the scabs were organized by...
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
That does sound quite unlikely, yes. The big guy, he's not scared of them. If anything, he likes them being here. Strange.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after...
Interesting.
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. But of course, it's the least I can do for my...
You can now go and tell Titus about it.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything.
Needless to say, this is another move. Don't take it.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? Was it a good tour? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yes, Harry, it's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left. So you have to be. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it?
And what would it entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's...
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys.
He's saying as little as possible, as vague.
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures. Yes, yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast, where all the men have drowned, in either the sea or the bottle. A gloomy place, doesn't have that Union attitude. They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry.
He means it.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun. Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my... By all means, Harry. What's on your mind? See you soon. Mr. Dubois, every worker... What? Did I? Well done then, Harry. I like not knowing about it, and I'm sure you made the right call. I spend the whole day I don't even want to know what all of that means. Brew, shady, alcohol, turned off. I'm gonna let the world surprise me. Ah, yes, your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the...
Actually, Revachol doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably not even a speck of anger in his voice.
hey, mister. I'm not gonna
You're back before the cargo container. You're back before the cargo container. Why are you even? You're back before the cargo container. Why are... You're back before the cargo container. Despite the dirt that surrounds and trails you, the door stands.
Satisfied, detective?
Try again. Just like that, you hear a click, then a...
Ahoy! Come on in!
You can't be serious.
The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Welcome, welcome. Not too much, actually. Just pleasantly surprised to have...
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen? Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people out anyhow. My name is Rustam Diodor, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual.
Mr. Diodor, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and...
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well. Who am I? Anyhow, my...
Mr. Diodor...
Pleasure to meet you.
Oh Lord, not this again. Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case, you say, sure, Kim, I think it is. And yet, it never seems to get us in.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, all I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on say...
Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that. But, alright.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so damn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diverse. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really. things to stimulate the economy. Do you know how many jobs it takes to build and maintain a racing yacht? Dozens, at least. Of course, in the future, it will all be automated. But my point is this. Every man gets what he earns. It's the height of tyranny to take that from him. It is truly.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's
What do you mean? Are you talking about my chin? Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course.
the Weiss-Wieserman coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, it means one person possesses all the net worth. Among that group of individuals, it's been observed that when the Weiss-Wieserman coefficient reaches about 0.96 or so, the laws of physics begin to bend around the high net worth individual. The Weiss-Wieserman coefficient for 0.9998. That's not good for you.
Among other things, but calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire. No, not really. They're actually quite...
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. Probably. This is a great way to get around. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly? Herschel. I remember walking it. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly binding together to ask for money. There simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. Spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. I don't have the smart, you know. It also provides a means to hide from all the luxury yachts, high-fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois. What? No, I did not say that at all.
Could you please stop asking everyone for money? It does not reflect well on the RCM, and to be perfectly frank, we can't afford to look worse than we already do.
It's perfectly alright. Based on your appearance, as you may know, us high net worth individuals don't have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of here is 3 real. How much can you get for this? Yes, I'm sure. You know, maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound? Thanks for... Gentlemen, what can I do for you?
Hola, Wandering Man.
Right to work!
Looking for something, Hunt?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Hold on. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here.
He sounds worried, yet
Billy Majon, you said. Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright?
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned... Yes, it was my colleague, Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also...
Good. You have a name now.
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me.
And then goes for a little drink later. On the...
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by... Marie! She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink. Sorry. Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that. Happy we could...
Anything else you need from me? 57.
In the cabin, you see a set.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno...
This orange machine is dead still. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-crank ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. This orange machine is dead still. I squeak. This orange machine is dead still. I squeak. This orange machine is dead still. I squeaks. This orange machine is dead still. I squeaks beneath your This orange machine is dead still. Ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Gewaltsund. Darkness lies inside, but you gently lift the cube.
We should take it back to Miss Lukanen killed as soon as possible.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic history classes, students with their textbooks. Your flashlight, some of the writing has... Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Nothing happens. Behind the hatch sits the filament slides like a smooth draw. The filament slides into place. On the keyboard, nothing happens. The speaker.
Good morning, please repeat. Good. No, that's not it.
What does she mean? That's not. Maybe it's the second part of the leitmotif you saw on the...
Good. Ivan.
Ka-ching.
Portrait accident. Is there anything else? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are... It sounds like something cracks. Before the paper is soaked with ink. It's monochrome dark.
Odd. Something is obviously broken here.
It's just me.
Joder, no me jodas, tío.
This orange machine is dead still. This orange machine is dead still. I squeaked. This orange machine is dead still. I squeaked.
Y sale uno siempre, ¿no? Dos.
This orange machine is dead still. I squeaks beneath. This orange machine is dead still. I squeaked and it... This orange machine is dead still. Darkness lies in... You gently...
We should take it...
Yes. The whole history classes. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The filament slides out like a smooth draw. The speaker.
Good morning. Please repeat. Good. No.
What that maybe is
Good.
Ka-ching.
Fortress accident. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still. It sounds like something. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments. The paper is soaked with
odd. Something is obviously...
A single speck of white shines out from the shade. Marked by the... Looks like gibberish. Better get running again. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. It sounds like something cracks before the piece of paper starts filling up. The paper is soaked with ink. Its tiles on the cube are... It sounds like some... Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisp. The filament slides out of...
Oh, it's you again. Very good. One universal die for Wirral Untethered.
It feels icy. Just hold it.
I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce one die per customer. Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
The barbell waits patiently on the floor. The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. You managed... The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game. A A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the bar. Hey, but you're still in the ghost house.
Good technique.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my...
You're back. Good. Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be...
She's trying to conceal her excitement. The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours. Exactly. But what?
Okay. I thank you for sharing that much with me. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. Now I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have...
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the union...
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate... Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the union into...
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no I...
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more... He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining... It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this...
What is the nature of this?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already made.
Surely you're joking. These people are killers. My only hope is that yours provides a single, concrete suspect before they indiscriminately pick theirs. If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to...
They would have to.
The Debarder have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 4...
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons. Even you're, as I said, a bloodbath. It doesn't have to be like this. Nameless, badgeless, one single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Yes, I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible...
Since you are sharing, man, this is also the RCA.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good. As far as private military, they boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however.
Meaning they're used to operating in...
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Countries that don't have a good record. Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now, if you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever...
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel. I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in...
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify. The remaining contractors, their tribunal, that the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit.
The lieutenant consults his notebook.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault.
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel... Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, that's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor.
You meet her soon enough, you feel?
If you mean, did I see him alive? Yeah.
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice. But she had sympathy.
Liked is a bit strong. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled all the talk. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was. One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname.
What would you say was his eye color?
She closes her eyes, trying...
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better.
That's all right, ma'am. Anything else? Nationality? What would you...
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body.
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I...
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate.
One is obviously the scat leader at the harbor gates. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the...
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer...
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel. I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start. Truthfully, I don't know.
They don't report their progress.
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal... It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a...
It was taken with a frigate not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she...
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between... I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other. Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago. The sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they...
Where is he now?
I would say he's near the Arcade Islands by now. Ready to exit the Insel Indian, and in quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps, right?
The old world passing by.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning. His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not...
It could go this or the other way. Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task.
Do what you have to...
We will be careful, ma'am.
Is there anything else I can help you with? I love you did.
Fast. Observe.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. What can I help you with, Lieutenant?
You hear someone, a paw.
Do you have a...
Let's go.
It's generous. A A weathered brown. The lieutenant motion. This is the door. You already know it's the right.
You're right. Let's talk this through. We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice.
Yes, it's hard. But there is no easy way to handle this information.
The lieutenant motions towards the door. A weathered. The lieutenant. This is the door.
Hello? Who is it? The police. A moment, please.
There's fear in her voice.
Come in. The door is open.
It's you from the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back? I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade?
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? No, this is something much worse. Is he in a hospital? How bad is it?
How about some small talk before you break the news?
How have I been? You're not here to discuss me.
Can't write a scene without knowing the actors.
People got to eat? What is this about? It's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters. Jolie is 16 and Jenny is... The girls are staying at their friend's place.
She swallows.
No. Why? Do you have any news? No. I guess I'll find out when he decides. It shouldn't be long from now. Oh, it's in Jamrock.
Central Jamrock.
I think, yes, if that's just to return a book of mine.
Do something? Break something? It's a fool's hope.
Yes. His old leather, it's just your average brown leather jacket, but...
It reminded him of his teenage years.
Yes. The lining is hand-sewed.
She folds her hands across her chest. You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
What did you say? Oh. Oh. But... he was just...
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him? Was he drunk? I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever. She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something.
Here.
No, no. I just need to tell my girls.
Unreal.
God. Should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
We should step outside and talk. You did well. You did enough. Can't save the whole world, you know.
Can't bring the dead back.
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased. They'll manage.
They have to. It's not...
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here. Let's go.
The door has braved...
Trying to sneak.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
I don't believe it. I've never known that.
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness.
There'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place. Fat chance, but you can still do your part to revitalize the neighborhood.
She throws you a conspiratorial glance, then presses her finger to her lips and squints up.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air somewhere in Jamrock. But in Martinez, no gunshots, no sirens. The people are languishing in boredom and complacency. This place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring the raucous. You bring the... Hello again, officers. Have you come? Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
They do so.
Hello again, officers. Have you come?
They do.
Hello again, officers. Have you come?
They do.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire?
They do say the painter always paints his own portrait.
That's pretty fucked up.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
You don't have the skills to execute something like this in practice. But, oh boy, the idea's going. She squints her eyes.
On fire.
I say, sod off. You don't have the technical skills to do that.
I like your idea. Should have thought of it myself.
Such is the bloody...
Oops, my apologies. I guess I was trying too hard. You're a police officer, and a grown-up. Why are you trying to impress her? Maybe try a different approach, like climbing up there.
Pero entonces me da la esa o no me...
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my...
They do.
Hello again, officers. Have you come...
They...
Hello again, officers. Have...
They do say...
Hello again, officers. Have you...
They do...
Hello again, officers. Have...
You don't have the skills. She squints her.
On fire. I say, sod off. You don't have the technical skills to do that. I like your idea. Then get your brush from fucking art.
Oops, my apologies. You're a police officer, and a grown-up. Why are you trying to impress her? Maybe try a different approach, like climbing up there.
I, saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble? Oh man, that's like a load up.
He chooses to believe what's best for her.
Oh, you know. Tommy Laham's gonna be a musician.
The correct grammar is Tom.
Tommy Laham was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte.
It's more him. The man taps his finger.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Everything's still cool here, officer.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
Oh, okay. But why,
After all this mess...
An investment?
Or you could not make this about corruption and go with something even wilder.
I hear you, officer. What kind of a sum are we talking about here? Officer, do I look like a drug lord? Sounds like a fair...
Corruption.
It's just like bus or...
keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes.
Something cold grazes you.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir. You won't regret it, officer. Gotta prepare for sprint time.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a good starter pair, officer. And when you're a man who...
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table. The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that...
And here you are.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of... You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the... Why? What's this? A headless man riding up?
Indeed. I think I even have his cap somewhere down here. A tiny miniature phone cap to go with it.
He doesn't elaborate on what that means. The lieutenant studies the cool rider, right? I knew we'd find something worthwhile here. Buy it.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons. Within seconds you know, this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Of course you could sing this. You could take Sad to a whole... Yup, they're all here. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Gart, you have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. The lieutenant looks at you as... Take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, is going to cover most. It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth center. This is either an ominous or cool architecture. My money is on cool. Looks like a cute...
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but...
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects. You take the legal documents out of the envelope. There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door. Once the construction starts, it will probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the... Our tenant, the police... Eh? What's this about? Come now, I can't read all the scribble. Tell me what it says. Huh, I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is gonna be a street. Have you asked Lillian about this? I won't even consider signing till I know she's on board.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Where are you? This says by signing, I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the Union building? What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought that...
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
That Evrard and the Union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess Union members have children too.
And those members have a vote. when electing the head of the...
He has a pen in everything. Here you go. I shouldn't have. Yes, well, I looked at it and thought I should. Because it says youth center, and I have my own...
Living with the construction noise is going to be a challenge.
Sure, but it's temporary and for a good cause, and I need to give the children something else to do. They're cute and small now, but they're growing up fast. Too fast. I had my first drink when I was 11. But anyway, you'll have to get Isabel to sign it too. I saw the signatories. She won't if it's a bad idea. She's a much tougher nut to crack.
Our tenant, the policeman. Lillian should let her sword make her decisions. The girl just doesn't have the head for it. Either way, I won't sign. Lillian's not the only one who's too trusting. I've seen it all before. You think they've got our interests at heart? Rich men are always selling poor men promises we never planned to keep. Then the poor get pushed out of their homes, and the rich get a little richer. That's the way it goes.
In her mind, the Union is right-wing because Everard is fat. It's that simple, and there's no changing it. She speaks with the authority of a leader. Hers is the fun. She is headstrong, but there's a slight hesitation in there. You may be able to convince her.
Our tenant, the policeman. Our tenant, the policeman. I hope...
It's really...
I've heard that pitch before plenty. Building this, building that, new jobs, new blood. Somehow the people here always end up holding the short end of the stick. And what do you think I'm doing right now, Mr. RCM? Do you know who takes the cream of these deals? Real estate developers. House... Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the...
It's real.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What?
It's real.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope...
It's real.
Our tenant, the policeman.
Logic and reason won't work on this old bat. Better go for shameless. Does this feel like a good thing, though?
What do you mean? Was I raised my own kids in this village and they are doing fine for themselves. No, they moved to Faubourg for work. Well, I imagine they'll grow up and leave too.
You've got her. Now just reel her in.
Then...
Wait. Let her come to it herself.
I don't believe the Fat Man's Youth Center is going to change anything. But what other choice do we have? It's not like the coalition government is coming to save us. I won't be around much longer anyway. Not with the dampness in my bones. If they want to take a chance, who am I to stop them? Aye, we do. We do. But how do we do that?
Reluctantly, she takes the pen from your hand, scribbles her name on the line, and hands everything back to you.
See that you didn't just get us all screwed. I might be half blind, but I have a good memory for treachery.
Let's go, Melit.
He's not dissatisfied with you, but with himself.
Huh? I like to see him try. If anything, I...
She doesn't seem surprised.
Get out of here, trying to ruin my day. And that youth center better be a good one, or you'll have... I wield an army of drunks. Do not underestimate the effect of such a force, if it's pointed to the right direction.
The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts, most of them poor things. The trap is poor. Hey, her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between... You have the headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. Don't be so pessimistic. This isn't funny. So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious.
Yes, what is it? Yes, what is it? The Swallow, you mean? What about it? Great. Thanks. Yes? No. That's the production schedule you stole and accessed without...
In his defense, it was simply lying in the desk drawer.
Okay, but still. Thanks. Looks like it's the one. Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it. A speck of white? That's exactly what I'm hoping to find. Lintel was able to divine the location of the anomaly from this broken copy. I want to watch. What an intricate display of failure.
The paper gets soaked in ink again. It's the abyss staring back at you. Sona doesn't reply. Her hands running over the...
Here. I found it. Hold on. Just give me a second. I'm almost...
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
Done. I've got it. I found the location of the anomaly. Thank you. There. In the Swallow. Think you can help me again? I need you to go move those water bolts for me. Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bolt 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth bolt 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick. Thanks.
It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire... Measurements have been marked down around the bowls. Each chalk-drawn line representing a... It moves like a ghost, without creating some water... The lead programmer.
Yes, what is it? Great. Everything should be aligned now.
Miss Know-It-All is hesitating.
Yeah. Nothing. Now the only thing... If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes. Honestly, I'm a little scared. I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be anything. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist? What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the Swallow itself is... I don't know. I'm just scared. Maybe it's going...
Like that evil ink that filled the printout, erasing coherence and meaning.
Maybe. Maybe I'm just tired. Yeah. You're right. Let's do it.
The lieutenant, and then nothing happens. As Sona Lokanen-Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard, she doesn't answer. Her eyes closed and brow...
Damn it! No, of course not. Nothing happened.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take.
No. No. My hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something. But this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That you can try on the headphones.
Silence is silence? You're sure there's more to it?
Yes, what is it?